Hello, it's Pupmeister, and today we're going to be looking at, can you guess by the black cat? Yes, how to make a witch farm. And of course, one of the first things you have to do is find a witch hut. I recommend one that is in the water, because then you don't have as many spawning areas that can happen. So just before we get started, let's take a look at what we are going to need for this build. As you can see, I've divided it into two sections, the witch hut farm itself, and then the tube to the killing area, which you can kind of see behind. I have combined two separate farms by two different people to make one really good one. So thanks go out to Logical Geek Boy and Akam. So for the witch hut farm area, you're going to need 12 stacks of solid blocks, can be any kind. In this build I used amethyst, as you can see behind, but you can use anything like cobblestone. 27 trapdoors of any kind, 2 water buckets, 3 redstone torches, 1 wooden pressure plate and 5 stone pressure plates, redstone, 38 of them, 38 slabs, and 1 boat for the timer up top. For the tube to the killing area, you're going to need at least 5 water buckets. You might want to bring 1 extra. Soul sand, you'll need 2. Walls or fences, I use walls. You'll need 4. You'll need probably 10 stacks of glass, although that'll give you a little more than you need. And 2 stacks of kelp, again, a little more than you need. Magma blocks, you'll need 4 of them, 3 signs, 2 slabs of any kind, 3 hoppers, and 4 chests. All right, let's get going. So I do everything in survival, so I will not be flying around showing you how to do things. So the first thing we want to do is come up here and create our first point. And by point, I mean the corner of the second level. Now to make the third level, just go up 3, 1, 2, 3, and that is going to be your third level, the corner. Now it will match the edge of the roof all the way around, and at the front it will match the very front of the balcony. All right, and these 2 in between will be gone. Those we will put back because we will need them. And the last corner for the first level is underneath this one. So 1, 2, and 3, just like that. And it often just matches the surface of the water. Okay, well, let's start with the top layer. Now, as you can see, I had a whole bunch of extra amethyst blocks from a geode, a couple geodes I was farming. So I'm going to use that for the outside of this build, and I'm just going to use cobblestone for the actual floor. For no particular reason. All right, so now let's make the outside here. All right, and there is our second level going around. And now we can do our bottom level. bobbing up and down in the water doesn't make it the easiest. Now that you have all 3 layers, you can see there, those are going to be the 3 levels of your witch farm. So we've fully done the top. We still need to fill in the bottom and the middle. But at this point, we might as well start getting rid of the witch hut. So you have 3 platforms, all of which are 7 by 9. So now on the back of your farm, so whatever side you choose, I'm going to choose this for the back of my farm because I want the witches coming out where there's more water. On the back of the farm, put another layer, or another level, I guess, on the side. Just like that. Made a little staircase on the edge here, just to make things a little easier. Okay, now you want to put on the trap doors, and you should put them on just facing the back, like this. So they open towards the front. And then you can stand them all up, just like that. Now you want to build a pillar on the edge here. That goes all the way up, just like that. And another one on this side. All right. Now you want a back to it. So you don't need these corner ones. You can get rid of those, but then bring it all the way across. Just like that. So now you have a trench, and you need to do that for all 3 levels. Now we've got that done for all 3 levels. Now come on over. And this is where you're going to need your water buckets. And you want to fill the corner, and then you want to fill one over. And this will give you an infinite water source in between, which will allow you to continue all the way to the end. Just like that. And you want to do that on every level. And you can do it from behind as well. Whatever is easiest. And there we go. I removed my little ladder because now we need to start working on the back of this a little bit. Okay, so you want to go 5 in, right there, and 1 up. Just like that. And you want to do that for all 3 levels. So just to make life easy, I'm gonna make a little stack here, just like that. Okay, so you should have something that looks like that. And now you want to put a redstone torch on the side of all 3, and grab your redstone, and you're going to be putting your redstone all along here. just like that. And you want to do that on every level. Okay, so it should look like that. Those torches should have lit this all up. And all 3 levels should have it. So at this point, it should look like that. Now we want to make some stairs going up. Just like that. And you want to put 2 blocks just right in here so that it blocks the redstone signal from these stairs. And again, block the signal here. And you want to keep moving up. All right, so just like that. Okay, so you should have a little stair step going all the way up. And now that we have that, we need to put redstone all the way down the stairwell like that. Get rid of that one. Okay, just so you can see it from the side, it just goes all the way up the stairwell like this to the very top. Okay? Now that we have that done, you want to cover all the water. Just like that. And you want to do that on all 3 levels. Just like that. Now we want to start building the sides. And of course, you want to build that up all the way up the side. And you want to do the same on the other side until it looks like that. And now you want to add one more level and fill it in so you have a roof over this. But this is not our final roof, or we wouldn't be using blocks because things can spawn on blocks. And when you're done, it should look like that. Now we want to go to the bottom and you just want to fill this in. Just like that. Extend these to the bottom. You really don't need this corner piece here. Nor that one. Alright, so it should look like this. Now we need to dry this out. So if you have sponges, you can do it that way. Or just use, like I'm doing, some temporary blocks. You can use dirt or cobblestone like I am, or whatever you like. And then just dig it out again. Just like that. And then you'll be using a water bucket on the one side, pushing everything this way. Now, although I actually finished this part coming up after I finished the main witch farm building, I thought it would be better to work on this part here at this point rather than at the end just before we start working on the tube. So I decided to insert it here. Now I've actually dug a little further already to set things up for you. And I'm just going to show you what I did here. First of all, we're extending the wall until it matches the outside of the building, because this is where the witches are going to shoot up the tube. Okay? Now, in this particular case, we have this stream of water coming down. We're going to break this block and the water will continue down and it will go into this fence. This is a wall down here, but you can also use a fence. And notice that there's some soul sand right here. So this wall or fence is one block below the soul sand. So you kind of have to dig one block below again. So when the water comes down, it will come down here and then come down here. This we will fill with water, of course, with all source blocks. So this starts bubbling and shooting them up. This little hole here is what sucks the witches forward. Without a hole here, the water wouldn't kind of flow in a way that would suck the witches over here. They would just kind of get stuck right here. So you also have to do it in order. Otherwise, this wall may not waterlog. Okay? So, first thing we want to do, let's break this. We don't want to break it way down there. Okay, so see how the water is flowing right over here and brings onto the soul sand. So now what we have to do, this can only be 2 high, not 3. Okay, so you want it 2 high, just like that. And then once we get the water in here, we'll put either 2 signs or 2 gates right here. Okay, and I'll show you that in a second. So let's just dig our way out here. Close it back up. Okay. So let's grab our bucket of water and just pouring it right here. Now I've got these blocks right up to the water level because from here on up it'll all be glass so we can see where they're going and what they're doing. Okay. So now we need kelp to make them all source blocks. Okay, just like that. You can also put a bucket of water on every block, but that just seems... There you go, it's already pushing me up. So let's go back over here and dig in. Close this back up, have normal water flow. And now we want to bring our 2 gates, or like I said, they can be signs as well. And we're going to put the first one there and open it up. And then the second one there and open it up. And then you got to make sure that you get that block out as well, or they'll get stuck there. And as you can tell, we got shot up just like we should. Okay, so it's going to be 1 step down, another step down, the wall or fence, and then it'll go up a bit because the wall is pushing us half a block up already. And then we get shot up. Okay? And I know this can be a little tricky. If you don't do this exactly right, you know, like you saw in the first part before I took this block out, the wall was dry, and so nothing would flow forward. Okay, so now I'm not touching any controls. I'm just pretending to be a witch coming through here, and hopefully you'll see it work just like it should. Bring us down, again down, pop us up half a block, and then into the soul sand. And there you go. Okay? So that is how to do the first part. So the next part is going to be building the glass up and starting to move them way up and across. Okay, so we'll leave the rest of that for now until we really get working on it. But for now, we want to close this off. So you can just use solid blocks here if you like. I'm going to use tinted glass. And this is just so I can look in. No other reason. Now, if you're going to use glass here, it has to be tinted glass. Otherwise, the sun will get in. And that is something you definitely don't want happening. So when you're done that part, it should look like this. Or completely solid, if that's what you prefer. I might switch out the cobblestone for the amethyst out front here. I think it might look better. Alright, so I switched the cobblestone out for the amethyst, and it looks way better, absolutely. So let's move on to the next step. Now it's time to do the boat timer on the top. So let's get up there. Okay, now that we're up here, you want to put 1 block there. You want to put your wooden pressure plate there. And then 2 more stone pressure plates. Another block there. And then the rest of the pressure plates like that. Then you want to bring this around and just leave a space on the side. When you come around the back here, you want to be right up against the pressure plate. But the sides, leave a space. Just like that. Then you want to grab your water buckets. And you want to put the first one in there. And the second one in there. And that will create a stream that continually flows around. Then you want to break this block, and you want to put your last piece of redstone right there. Now when you're ready, and I'll just show you very quickly, but we'll take the boat away. When you're ready, just throw the boat down here. And as it goes across, it will activate the redstone. And all of the trapdoors will open and flush the witches down the side. Down there. Alright, so the last thing we want to do, at the moment anyway, because we do want to come up here, the last thing we're going to do is put the boat in so that it activates everything, because if any witches spawn in here, we don't really want them falling yet. So, let us mob-proof the top here. Just by putting down some slabs. Just like that. And on the sides as well. I don't have to put them here because I have glass. However, if you used solid blocks, then you're going to want to put the slabs here as well. And there we go. Okay, now for the exciting part. Making the tube up to the top. Now, as you can hear, we already have a witch that has spawned in here somewhere. So what we're going to do, just so we don't have a witch flowing up through our tube in the midst of construction, I'm going to put a dirt block here. This will be temporary until we're done. And then we can come back down, get rid of this, and just put in a water source block right here with a pail, and we'll be all set. We're gonna need lots of glass. Okay, so you just want to keep building up. It's getting louder and louder as we come up. He must be on the top level. All right. Just like that, okay? So the two glass pillars on the sides go up to the top, and this one, because we will be heading out this way, stays 2 blocks lower, just like this. Now, we can grab one of our water buckets and put it in there already. And we're going to grab our kelp and zoom down here. Okay, and this is going to make all of these into source water blocks. Okay? So that eventually when we go down there and break that dirt block, the bubbles will just come straight up. Okay? And there's nothing to laugh about that. Okay, so now we want to crouch, and we want to go this way. We want to go 3 more blocks. So 1, 2, 3. And then we want to grab our magma blocks. And remember, you won't get hurt on magma when you're crouching. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just going to get off it, so while I switch things, it's not going to hit me. Okay, and then on the other side of the magma, and again, we're going to crouch, just so we don't get any damage. So we've got 3, 4, and 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just like that. Okay? And now, I'm going to run across anyway. Okay, now you want to make these sides, because they'll be coming up here and coming this way. Just like that. It's not too bad so far. I'm expecting this to be... Oh, shoot. Hate when that happens. I'm expecting this to be a little challenging with this, considering we're purely in survival at the moment. It's going to get a little more challenging when we get to the end here. So now you want to grab 2 signs, and you want to put one down here and one up there. Okay, just like that. And then you want to grab another pail of water, and we'll just crouch over this. And you're going to put another source block of water right here. Okay, so the bubbles will come up right to there, but they'll start flowing this way already. Okay, and the water should come right up to the back of the sign here. Okay. To do this part is probably easier just to jump down and create a little pillar here to work from. Because we're going to be doing a few things that are under this. So the first thing you want to do is place a temporary block right there. Then you want to grab your 2 walls and place them just like that. You can get rid of the temporary wall just like that. Now you want to grab your glass, and you're going to have to extend this. So you could have done that earlier, especially if you're doing this. I kind of left it open because I wasn't sure whether I was going to use scaffolding or not, but I think this is probably the easier way at the moment. So right now you want to put another temporary block right there, and then 2 more blocks because you want to cover the water that will be hanging out there. Okay, so you're going to want 6 glass blocks here, and you can get rid of that temporary block. And then you probably just want to come out this way a little bit and put another temporary block there. And then you want to grab your soul sand and place it on top. Just like that. And then you can get rid of the temporary block again. Now we need to head over to the other side to finish it off. So why not just head over this way? Maybe one more, give myself some room. Same for you guys, you might want to do this. Okay, so this is pretty much all set up. You just need to extend The glass, you're going to need to put a temporary block here again. So you've got something for the glass to be put on. And then all the way like this. And that is it, at least for now. Okay, so now you're going to want to put a couple more glass blocks there on each side of the soul sand. And then just like we did down there, we're going to have to create a little air bubble on this side. So let's just come on out this way. It should be enough to do what we need to do over here. So you want to put a glass block there, a glass block there. You can put a temporary block there, and then another glass block there, and one underneath. You can break the temporary block. And then that is all you need to do as far as what is under here. So you can break all this and then build a tower to come up to the side again and be back on top. And now that we're there, we might as well make this pillar the one that gets us back up to the top. Okay, and then we can just kind of break what we can there. So now you want to put another glass, another glass, another glass, and then a glass there. And now we can pretty much start building our little tube all the way up. We want to place 2 gates in front of the soul sand like we did before. Open them both up. And now we can head up. All right, so of course your tube is going to be around the soul sand. You're going to want to put another block on top, and you have to crouch to place that one. Okay, so just like that is how it's going to look. And now we want to go 116 blocks up. That's 116. Now, I've already gone 2, so we need to go another 114 blocks up. Now, before we zoom up, another good reason to do this over water is if you happen to fall while you're building this, well, you'll survive in the water, as opposed to if it were land, you'd be in deep trouble. Now don't fall down the center, or you'll be in trouble there too. You might start realizing whether you're afraid of heights at this point or not. I'm even getting a little nervous because you know, hopping up on these tiny little things, and it's just going further and further up. If you have extra water and it makes you feel better, you can always throw some water in here. And then you know if you're going to fall, at least you're going to hit the water and you won't die. And then you can just go down and come back up. Just to add to my nerves, it started raining. And there we go. 116 blocks up. Make sure you have a bucket of water, because you're going to want to put it right on the top, and you can see it flowing all the way down. And we're going to be doing the same trick like we did last time. So I've got some more extra kelp in this shulker box here. I'm just going to bring out. All right, so I'm going to dive down here and do the same trick as we did over there, making all these source blocks by putting in kelp. Now I have a Respiration 3 helmet, so we'll see if that makes a huge difference, okay? I'm going to swim down as fast as I can. Got one bubble gone. 2 bubbles gone. Oh, here comes the end. All right, and then you can always come out here for some air. Now the other way, of course, is just to jump off the side into the water and then build yourself up on the side again and come in. You can always do that. All right, so back in we go, and we'll start planting the kelp. There we go. And now that we have the kelp in here, we can go back down and break it. And you don't really need to break it on the way down. You can just break the very bottom one and they'll all break and go to the top because the bubbles will form at that point. Okay. So let's break them. You got to get in far enough so you can break them, but you don't want to be in too far because the bubbles will start and it'll shoot you up to the top. There you go. Just break it and then back off. You can see the bubbles are already doing. So all the kelp is at the top now. So before we continue, you want to get one more bucket of water. And you want to put it right in between the 2 signs here, so that as the witches move forward. Now, first of all, one thing I didn't mention, and you can hear quite a few witches now. The reason these magma blocks are here, so the witches take a little damage and they don't despawn. Okay, that's what that's for. But they will continue to move along here. And we won't touch anything, and we'll see if everything's working well and whether we get shot up to the top, because that's where we need to go now. Yep, working good. And there's all the kelp we had. Still raining, unfortunately. So you can see our witch farm down there. So you want to bring we're now going to work on our killing area. So you just want to bring it out to the side here, okay? You don't want to go further away. You don't want to go back towards it. You just want to go to the side here. Okay, so you want to crouch and you want to come out this way and just put 1 extra block there, and then you want to increase all these by 2, and you're going to want to put a roof on here. So let's just bring that up, and you're going to want to put sides. Okay, so it's just like that. Let's step out of the rain for a second here. All right, so now just add 1 more. Okay, so you want 2 blocks off of the one side, and you want to make the walls just like that. Might as well do it all the way. Okay, just like that. Now for this next part, we actually want to build up our ladder or scaffolding to get up here. So you might as well just jump down If you don't trust that, you can always steal the top block here and just throw some water on the end of this block so it makes a waterfall, and then just ride that down instead of jumping off. Because if you didn't clear all the lily pads down there, you might actually hit one, and that'll be the end. Okay, so I'm going to do that. Just crouch and come on out. Put some water there, and you'll see it's all going down. There it goes. And you can just ride it down. Okay, it's time to make our ladder or scaffolding to get up there. So, if you did this waterfall, the edge of our platform up there is right there. So you want to go at least 2, 3 more. So 1, 2, 3. So basically out here. And then you want to go about 1, 2, 3, somewhere around here. And this is where you want to make your ladder. Okay, so I'm going to use scaffolding. Just because I find it easier. See, you can just keep shooting and it'll just go higher and higher. But if you haven't found a jungle yet, or you don't have scaffolding at your disposal, you can always make this a stone pillar going up with ladders on the side. So I used 2 stacks, so that should be 128. So that's probably higher than I need, but we're gonna have to be doing some construction up here anyway. So it may come in handy, and I can always just break it off the top. So the first thing I'm going to do is just get rid of this water. And I'm going to have to actually go down a little bit because we need to build below this. Okay, so that should be okay. All right, so we're where we want to be right now. Okay, so you want to make 2 more blocks below this. And I'm going to use a stone here just because this is where we will be killing them. And if you have glass, you might break the glass by accident. So I'm just going to use a stone here. And this is also where you want to put 2 slabs, just like that. So the reason I broke this is because scaffolding is not going to help me in this case, because I'm going to have to crouch to put our hoppers in. And if I crouch on this, I'm going to go down and straight through it. So I'm going to have to add some actual blocks. Okay, so I'm going to create some blocks here. And then once we have some blocks, we can actually crouch and build a few things. So I'm just going to expand this. Okay, so now that we have a legit place to stand, so you can put a temporary block right there. And then grab your chest and put them right there. Then you can get rid of that guy and just walk around the chest here. And then you can put your hoppers going into the chest, and you want the other hopper going into this hopper. So just like that. Okay, so this one going in there, that one going into the chest. All right. And now, again, I'm just going to extend it this way. Okay, because we will be killing the witches right here. So wham, wham, and kill them. So that is why I put this stone block here, so that if you get a little anxious on your sword, or you put an auto repeater on or something like that, you won't break the glass. So with that, we need to build a little more here. Okay, because the witches are going to be dropping in here. And you could probably put that like that. Okay, so the witches will be dropping right in here. And you want them completely surrounded. Okay, and then you want to bring this down. And you can see this is where you can kill the witches. Now, if you don't want a potential witch throwing things at you from the side, I recommend putting more walls down that way. And same on this side. So the only spot is right here. And then you can just kill them like that. Now, we're going to have to just go in here again, just for a moment. Okay, I'm just going to drop in here. So remember, we're going to have to put the water back that we took from here. Don't forget that, if that's what you did. And over here, we're going to have to add one more block there. And that is where we're going to have to put the sign. Just like that. So that the water that we put here will stop right there. See? And they'll drop down into the killing chamber. Okay, and then of course, make sure that you fix the roof here. Okay, so that's what it should be looking like. And that'll bring the witches right over there to the killing chamber. And all should be good. Now, just for the heck of it, I'm going to put another chest right here. And I'm going to place another hopper into that chest from that chest. Because witches can drop a lot of stuff. So, I mean, you can add as many chests as you like here. You can build up around your ladder. Make some walls, make yourself a nice little house up here. And you'll be all set to go. So now there's just 3 more things to do and we're done. All right, so you can hear there's a lot of witches in there already. So we're going to break this glass. So we should have some more glass ready. And then we're going to put a water bucket right there. Okay, so we break that. Get rid of that. Put a source block there. And put the glass block back in. And you can see it's moving up again, so this is good. You can get rid of that. And then the next thing is we need to put our boat in the top that flushes everything. So let's go do that. And remember, we want to put the boat right in here. And that begins flushing everything. And there, now normally you wouldn't be standing here. But you can see all the witches are starting to go up. The one other thing we want to do is place a roof on this part of the tube right here. Now you can just extend these slabs right across if you want. I'm going to be putting glass blocks just because I want to see from up there whether they are traveling along and on their way up. So there you go. Just make sure there is a roof on here, and that way they won't, I mean, you'll never have to go up here again. But just so they don't attack, or just so they stay in there and they don't somehow pop out or whatever, it's a good idea to put a roof on here. So let's go all the way to the top and see how many witches we have up here. All right, there they are. Okay, so normally you would be up here. Oh, we've got more coming now. And you just stand here and you can just kill them all as they keep coming. And if you want, you could even put a stone block here if you think you might hit that by accident. So we've got a good number of witches coming out. So let's take a look at just this little bit that we've done. We already have a nice collection of stuff from the witches. Just before I go, I thought I would just show you the little house that I made. You can make any kind of house you want here. I left a bit of a bottom glass here so I can look in and see what's going on and whether they're coming up or not. I used quartz slabs. I used quartz slabs for the ceiling. Other than here, I used more glass so I could kind of see what they're up to. Just a little warning, I suppose. You can add maybe a couple blocks on each side. If you're walking over here, they might be able to see you and throw poison at you or something. So just a little bit of a warning there. And if you want to just be out of their sight for sure, you can always just hit from the side like this, and then there's no way they'll be able to see you. If you're right up here, of course they might be able to see you. If you're hitting right away, they'll be busy drinking healing potions before they throw poison at you, so it's not a big deal. But if you're just standing here not paying attention, well, that might be a different story. Okay? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a great day.